Every park has a story, and every story has a legacy. Welcome to Legacy Parks on the Daily Parks and Rec Show. This is our host, Richard Bienvenu, and we're live every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Together, we'll explore the history, impact, and lasting legacy of the parks that have shaped our communities for generations. We'll uncover the stories, people, and moments that make this park truly unforgettable. Legacy Parks, where every park tells a story. In this episode, we explore 7 remarkable parks across the Southeast and the history, beauty, and community stories behind them.
Well, hello, everybody. This is Richard Bienvenu with our Legacy Park show for today. And we're going to be covering 7 parks again. And this is going to be parks in the southeast of the United States. And, what makes a great city park? Is it beautiful gardens? Is it historic monuments? Is it a sparkling lake? A place to celebrate, to exercise, or simply to sit beneath a shade tree and watch the world go by? Well, this week on Legacy Parks of America, we're exploring 7 remarkable parks that have helped define the cities they call home. Each one tells a different story about the people who built it and the community that continues to cherish it today. So our journey begins in Atlanta with Piedmont Park, the city's green heart, before traveling to the graceful beauty of Forsyth Park and Savannah, where moss-draped oaks and world-famous fountains have welcomed generations of visitors. Next, we're going to go over to the Birmingham's Railroad Park. It's a remarkable example of how an abandoned industrial corridor became one of America's finest urban parks. Then we'll return to Atlanta to explore Centennial Olympic Park, the lasting legacy of the 1996 Summer Olympic Games and the centerpiece of one of downtown Atlanta's greatest revitalization stories. From there, we'll visit Lake Eola Park in Orlando, Florida, where we have graceful swans and an iconic fountain and a beautiful downtown skyline. It creates one of Florida's most recognizable city parks. Then it's south to Miami's Bayfront Park, where tropical gardens, Biscayne Bay, and one of America's most spectacular skylines come together along the waterfront. And finally, we'll conclude our journey in Mobile, Alabama. I used to live in Mobile. I went to school there, and I love Mobile. And I'm going to be talking about Bienville Square. It's a peaceful public square whose history stretches back more than 2 centuries and reminds us that sometimes the most important parks aren't the biggest, they're the ones that become the heart of the community. Now, these parks are more than beautiful places. They have hosted World's Fairs, Olympic celebrations, festivals, concerts, parades, and quiet family afternoons. So they've witnessed history, survived change, and continue to enrich the lives of millions of people around the year, every year. And so join me as we discover 7 of the South's most remarkable public spaces, parks that have shaped our cities, preserved our history, and continue to inspire future generations. So again, I am Richard Bienvenu, and this is Legacy Parks of America, and let us get started. What do a World's Fair, a famous speech, horse racing, and one of America's fastest growing cities all have in common? The answer is Piedmont Park. Today is Atlanta's favorite gathering place, a beautiful landscape of lakes, trails, gardens, and open lawns where thousands come to relax and play. But this peaceful oasis has lived many lives, and its remarkable history mirrors the growth of Atlanta itself. Before Piedmont Park, this was rolling farmland and dense woodland several miles north of downtown Atlanta. Following the Civil War, the city was rebuilding with incredible energy and optimism. Civic leaders wanted to show the world that Atlanta was becoming the economic center of the New South. They needed a place large enough to host grand public events, and these open fields proved to be the perfect solution. The land first gained national attention during the Piedmont Exposition of 1887, followed by the much larger Cotton States International Exposition in 1895. Millions of dollars were invested to create impressive exhibition halls, lakes, gardens, and wide promenades. Visitors came from across the globe to see the latest inventions and celebrate Southern progress. It was also here that Booker T. Washington delivered his historic Atlanta Compromise speech, making these grounds an important chapter in American history. When the expositions ended, the grounds took on a new role. A horse racing track became one of Atlanta's most popular attractions, while bicycle races, athletic competitions, and public celebrations brought thousands of spectators together. Long before it officially became a city park, people had already discovered that this was a wonderful place to gather, socialize, and enjoy the outdoors. In 1904, the city of Atlanta purchased much of the property, officially creating Piedmont Park. A few years later, the famed Olmsted Brothers landscape architecture firm developed a master plan that emphasized winding paths, broad meadows, mature trees, and scenic vistas. Their design respected the natural landscape while creating spaces where visitors could stroll, picnic, or simply escape the growing city surrounding them. One of the park's most recognizable landmarks is Lake Clara Mere. With ducks gliding across the water and Atlanta's skyline reflected in its surface, it's one of the city's favorite places to slow down for a while. Nearby are walking trails, playgrounds, sports fields, picnic areas, and quiet corners where visitors often forget they're standing in the middle of one of America's busiest metropolitan areas. Throughout the year, visitors enjoy spectacular flower displays, outdoor art, seasonal festivals, concerts, and special events that make the park a destination in every season. Today, Piedmont Park truly serves as Atlanta's front yard. The Atlanta Dogwood Festival, farmers markets, charity walks, road races, outdoor concerts, and countless community celebrations fill the calendar year-round. On any given day, you'll find families enjoying a picnic, runners circling the trails, children laughing on playgrounds, and friends simply enjoying time together beneath the shade of century-old trees. Piedmont Park continues to evolve. Over the past several decades, new walking trails, athletic fields, playgrounds, and additional green space have expanded the park well beyond its original footprint. These thoughtful improvements have allowed the park to grow alongside Atlanta while preserving the character that has made it such a treasured destination for more than a century. As the evening sun settles behind Atlanta's skyline, it's easy to understand why Piedmont Park holds such a special place in the hearts of its residents. What began as farmland became an exposition ground, then a racetrack, and finally one of America's great urban parks. More than a place to exercise or relax, Piedmont Park tells the story of a city that never stopped growing, and of the green space that has grown right along with it. How did a quiet pasture on the edge of a small southern city become one of the most photographed parks in America? The answer is Forsyth Park. With its graceful fountain, towering live oaks draped in Spanish moss, fragrant gardens, and timeless beauty, this Savannah landmark has become much more than a city park. It is a symbolic front porch of one of America's most charming cities, welcoming visitors from around the world while remaining a favorite gathering place for the people who call Savannah home. In the early 1840s, this area marked the southern edge of Savannah. Beyond the city's elegant squares lay open fields used for grazing livestock and military exercises. As Savannah expanded, city leaders recognized the need for a large public green space where residents could escape the bustle of daily life. Inspired by the growing park movement taking shape across America, they set aside this land for what would eventually become Forsyth Park. The first portion of the park opened in the 1840s, but it continued to grow over the following decades. Walking paths, shade trees, ornamental gardens, and broad lawns gradually transformed the once open fields into a welcoming public landscape. Named after Georgia Governor John Forsyth, the park quickly became a favorite place for afternoon strolls, family outings, and community celebrations, reflecting Savannah's appreciation for beauty, leisure, and thoughtful city planning. In 1858, the park received the feature that would define it forever, the magnificent Forsyth Fountain. Inspired by fountains found in Paris, the cast-iron centerpiece was ordered from a New York foundry and became an instant symbol of Savannah. Today, its graceful streams of water remain one of the most recognizable images in the South, appearing in countless photographs, paintings, postcards, and films. While the fountain captures most of the attention, the park's natural beauty is equally unforgettable. Massive live oaks create long, shaded avenues where Spanish moss sways gently in the coastal breeze. Flower beds bloom throughout the season, historic monuments honor Savannah's past, and winding walkways invite visitors to slow down and enjoy the city's relaxed pace. Every corner seems designed for a photograph, or simply a quiet moment beneath the trees. Forsyth Park offers far more than scenery. Families gather at playgrounds, neighbors enjoy tennis and basketball courts, artists sketch beneath the trees, and musicians often perform near the fountain. The fragrant garden, designed especially for visitors with visual impairments, encourages people to experience plants through touch and scent, adding another thoughtful dimension to this remarkable public space. Throughout the year, Forsyth Park serves as Savannah's outdoor gathering place. The popular Saturday Farmers Market fills the park with local produce, fresh flowers, baked goods, and live music. Festivals, charity walks, outdoor fitness classes, holiday celebrations, and neighborhood events ensure there's almost always something happening here. Yet even on its busiest days, the park somehow manages to retain its peaceful southern character. One of the greatest pleasures of Forsyth Park is simply spending time here. Some visitors stretch out beneath the oaks with a good book, while others enjoy a picnic, walk their dogs, or capture family photographs beside the fountain. Travelers often discover that what they remember most isn't a single attraction, it's the feeling of slowing down and enjoying Savannah's unmistakable sense of grace and hospitality. Although Forsyth Park is more than 180 years old, it continues to evolve with careful improvements that respect its historic character. Gardens have been restored, walkways upgraded, recreational facilities modernized, and aging trees carefully maintained. Every improvement is made with one goal in mind: preserving the timeless beauty that has made Forsyth Park one of America's most treasured urban landscapes. As evening settles over Savannah and the fountain sparkles beneath the canopy of ancient oaks, it's easy to understand why Forsyth Park has become the city's signature landmark. More than just a beautiful place, it reflects Savannah's history, elegance, and enduring love of public spaces. For nearly 2 centuries, this remarkable place has invited people to slow down, look around, and discover that sometimes the most memorable destination isn't a building or a monument. It's a park that captures the very soul of a city. Can an abandoned industrial landscape become the heart of a modern city? In Birmingham, Alabama, the answer is a resounding yes. Railroad Park transformed a forgotten stretch of rail yard into one of America's most successful urban renewal projects. Today, its lakes, walking trails, open lawns, and spectacular skyline views attract more than 500,000 visitors each year. But to appreciate what this park has become, you first have to understand what stood here before. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, this part of Birmingham was the engine that powered the city. Railroad tracks crisscrossed the landscape, carrying coal, iron ore, limestone, and finished steel to markets across America. The city's rich natural resources, booming steel mills, an extensive railroad network earned Birmingham the nickname the Pittsburgh of the South. But as the steel industry declined, much of the area fell silent, leaving behind empty land and a reminder of a once booming industrial past. For years, these vacant rail yards divided downtown from the neighborhoods to the south. Instead of accepting the decline, city leaders, business organizations, and private donors imagined something entirely different. Their vision wasn't simply to build another park. It was to reconnect Birmingham, attract investment, and create a welcoming public space that honored the city's industrial heritage while looking confidently toward the future. Construction began in 2008, and 2 years later, Railroad Park officially opened to the public. Covering 19 acres, the park incorporated sustainable landscaping, wetlands, native plants, and environmentally friendly design features. Rather than erase the area's history, designers embraced it. The nearby railroad tracks remained an important visual element, reminding visitors that Birmingham's greatest strength had always been built on industry, determination, and hard work. Today, Railroad Park is a beautiful blend of nature and city life. A winding lake reflects Birmingham's skyline, while boardwalks, walking trails, gently rolling hills, and carefully designed gardens create inviting spaces for relaxation. Whether you're enjoying a lunch on a shaded bench or taking an evening stroll, it's hard to imagine this peaceful setting was once dominated by freight trains and heavy industry. The park was designed to be active as well as beautiful. Children explore imaginative playgrounds while runners, walkers, cyclists, and fitness enthusiasts make full use of the trails and open spaces. Wide lawns invite picnics, pickup games, and quiet afternoons under the Alabama sun. Every feature encourages people to enjoy the outdoors while reconnecting with the center of the city. Railroad Park has quickly become Birmingham's outdoor gathering place. Throughout the year, it hosts concerts, food festivals, fitness classes, charity walks, cultural celebrations, and outdoor movie nights. Just across the street stands Regents Field, home of the Birmingham Barons baseball team, creating an energetic entertainment district that has helped breathe new life into downtown Birmingham. One of the park's unique pleasures is watching modern freight trains continue to roll past just beyond its borders. It's a constant reminder that Birmingham's railroad heritage hasn't disappeared. It has simply found a new companion. Visitors often stop to photograph the passing locomotives against the city's skyline, creating images that beautifully connect Birmingham's industrial past with its vibrant present. Railroad Park has done far more than beautify 19 acres. Since opening in 2010, it has helped spark more than $324 million in nearby investment, attracting apartments, restaurants, offices, hotels, and new businesses to the surrounding neighborhoods. Once viewed as an abandoned industrial corridor, this part of Birmingham has become one of the city's most exciting destinations, proving that a great park can transform far more than the land within its borders. As the sun sets over Birmingham and another freight train rolls quietly past, Railroad Park reminds us that great cities are never finished. They continue to reinvent themselves while honoring the people and industries that built them. What was once a landscape of steel, smoke, and locomotives has become a place filled with laughter, music, recreation, and hope. It's one of the finest examples in America of how a city can preserve its past while creating an inspiring future. Can a single event change the future of an entire city? In Atlanta, the answer is yes. Centennial Olympic Park was created for the 1996 Summer Olympic Games, but its greatest achievement came after the athletes went home. What began as the centerpiece of a global sporting event has become the vibrant heart of downtown Atlanta, a place where thousands gather each year to celebrate, reflect, and enjoy one of America's most successful examples of urban renewal. Before the park existed, this part of downtown Atlanta looked very different. Much of the area consisted of aging warehouses, vacant lots, rail corridors, and surface parking. Although it sat near the city's business district, it had become an overlooked section of downtown. When Atlanta won the bid to host the 1996 Olympic Games, civic leaders recognized a once-in-a-generation opportunity to transform these neglected blocks into something the city could enjoy long after the closing ceremonies. Planning began years before the Olympics under the leadership of businessman Billy Payne and the Atlanta Committee for Olympic Games. Their vision extended far beyond building sports venues. They wanted to create a permanent public space that would serve as the gathering place for visitors during the Games and remain a lasting gift to Atlanta. Construction moved quickly, and by the summer of 1996, a brand new 22-acre park stood at the center of the Olympic festivities. During the Olympics, Centennial Olympic Park became the unofficial living room of the Games. Thousands of visitors gathered here each day for concerts, celebration, cultural performances, and public viewing events. Athletes, tourists, volunteers, and residents from around the world shared the same green space, creating an atmosphere unlike anything Atlanta had ever experienced. For a few unforgettable weeks, the eyes of the world were focused on this remarkable park. At the center of the park is its most recognizable feature, the Fountain of Rings, designed around the iconic Olympic rings and quickly became one of the enduring symbols of the 1996 Games. Choreographed water shows, synchronized music, and interactive fountains have made it one of Atlanta's most popular attractions. On warm days, children splash through the dancing jets while visitors gather nearby to enjoy one of downtown's most photographed landmarks. Beyond the fountain, the park offers beautifully landscaped gardens, walking paths, public art, and quiet places for reflection. One of its most meaningful memorials is the Quilt of Remembrance, honoring those affected by the Centennial Olympic Park bombing on July 27, 1996. The tragedy claimed 2 lives and injured more than 100 people, but it also highlighted the courage of first responders and security personnel, whose quick actions saved countless others. Today, the memorial stands as a reminder of both loss and resilience. Today, Centennial Olympic Park sits at the center of one of Atlanta's most exciting visitor districts, just steps away of the Georgia Aquarium, the World of Coca-Cola, the National Center for Civil and Human Rights, and several major sports venues. The park serves as the perfect starting point for exploring downtown, connecting many of the city's best-known attractions within an easy walk. Far from being a relic of the Olympics, the park remains one of Atlanta's busiest public spaces. Families gather on the lawns, office workers enjoy lunch outdoors, children cool off in the fountain, and festivals, concerts, holiday celebrations, and community events keep the park active throughout the year. What was once designed for a few weeks of international competition has become part of everyday life for the city. Perhaps the park's greatest legacy is the transformation it inspired. Since opening in 1996, Centennial Olympic Park has helped attract billions of dollars in new hotels, restaurants, attractions, offices, housing, and entertainment venues throughout downtown Atlanta. The park proved that thoughtful public spaces can become powerful engines of economic growth while creating spaces where people genuinely want to spend time. As darkness falls and the Fountain of Rings come alive, With music and light, Centennial Olympic Park reminds us that the greatest Olympic legacy isn't always measured in medals. Sometimes it's measured in neighborhoods transformed, memories created, and public spaces that continue bringing people together decades after the torch has been extinguished. More than a reminder of the 1996 Games, this remarkable park stands as one of Atlanta's greatest gifts to future generations. How did a small sinkhole lake become the symbol of one of the world's most visited cities? Long before Orlando became famous for theme parks and millions of vacationers, there was Lake Eola. Today, its sparkling fountain, graceful swans, colorful paddle boats, and scenic skyline make it the city's most recognizable gathering place. But behind its postcard beauty lies a fascinating story of natural history, civic vision, and a community that has grown up around the water's edge. Unlike many urban parks, Lake Eola began as a gift from nature. The lake itself is a natural sinkhole formed centuries ago as underground limestone, creating a deep spring-fed basin. During Orlando's earliest years in the late 19th century, the surrounding land was largely undeveloped. As the young city expanded, local leaders realized this beautiful lake deserved to become the centerpiece of the growing community. In 1888, the land surrounding the lake was officially set aside as a public park. Over the following decades, sidewalks, shade trees, gardens, and gathering spaces transformed the shoreline into Orlando's favorite place for recreation and relaxation. As neighborhoods expanded around the lake, Lake Eola Park became the city's outdoor living room, hosting celebrations, concerts, and community events that brought residents together. One feature has come to define Lake Eola more than any other: the spectacular fountain at its center. The first fountain was installed in 1912, but today's Linton E. Allen Memorial Fountain, completed in 1957 and beautifully restored in 2011, has become one of Orlando's most recognizable landmarks. By day, it sparkles against the skyline, and by night, colorful lights transform it into a dazzling centerpiece visible for blocks. Lake Eola's famous swans have become beloved ambassadors for the city. Descendants of birds first introduced more than a century ago, they represent several different species and have delighted generations of visitors. Sharing the lake with the iconic swan-shaped paddle boats, they create one of the most charming scenes in downtown Orlando. It's difficult to imagine Lake Eola without them quietly gliding across the water. A nearly 1-mile walkway circles the lake, offering beautiful views in every direction. Along the way, visitors discover colorful flower beds, sculptures, playgrounds, and popular amphitheater and peaceful spots to sit beneath towering palms and oak trees. Office workers enjoy lunch beside the water, while joggers, photographers, and families make the park one of Orlando's busiest public spaces throughout the year. Lake Eola Park truly comes alive during community events. The popular Sunday farmers market fills the sidewalks with local vendors, musicians, artists, and food stalls. Throughout the year, concerts, cultural festivals, holiday celebrations, charity walks, and outdoor performances bring thousands of residents and visitors together. Even in a city known for world-famous attractions, Lake Eola remains where Orlando gathers as a community. One of the greatest joys of Lake Eola Park is its simplicity. You can rent a swan boat, watch turtles bask in the sun, enjoy a picnic beneath the trees, or simply sit quietly as the fountain dances across the water. Surrounded by downtown skyscrapers, the park offers a peaceful escape where nature and city life exist in perfect balance. Lake Eola has continued to evolve through careful restoration and long-range planning. A major renovation in 1988 revitalized the park with new walkways, landscaping, gardens, and public gathering spaces, helping transform downtown Orlando into a vibrant center it is today. Ongoing improvements ensure this beloved park continues to serve both residents and visitors for generations to come. As the sun goes down behind Orlando's skyline and the fountain begins its colorful evening display, Lake Eola Park reminds us that every great city needs a place where people can slow down and reconnect. What began as a natural lake became the heart of a growing community and remains one of Florida's most treasured urban parks. Long after visitors leave Orlando's famous attractions, many discover that one of their favorite memories was simply spending an afternoon beside the peaceful waters of Lake Eola. What if one park could capture everything people imagine about Miami? Palm trees swaying in the breeze, sparkling blue water, towering skyscrapers, luxury yachts, and people from every corner of the world, all of it comes together at Bayfront Park. For more than a century, this waterfront oasis has welcomed visitors and locals alike, serving as Miami's front porch and one of the city's most treasured gathering places. Long before Bayfront Park was created, this shoreline looked very different. In the early 1920s, the city of Miami purchased submerged bay-bottom land from the Florida East Coast Railway and reclaimed it to create a new waterfront park. It was an ambitious project that forever changed Miami's shoreline. The city set aside part of this newly created land for what would become one of Florida's finest public parks. Bayfront Park officially opened in 1925 as Miami experienced an incredible land boom. Designed by renowned landscape architect Warren Henry Manning, the park featured broad lawns, tropical plantings, winding pathways, and spectacular waterfront views. It quickly became the city's premier gathering place, where residents celebrated holidays, attended concerts, and enjoyed refreshing breezes from Biscayne Bay. By the 1980s, Bayfront Park was ready for a new chapter. Internationally acclaimed artist and landscape designer Isamu Noguchi led an ambitious redesign that introduced striking sculptures, fountains, plazas, and dramatic public spaces while preserving the park's connection to the waterfront. His vision blended art, architecture, and nature into one of the most distinctive urban parks in America. Visitors discover much more than beautiful scenery at Bayfront Park. The Torch of Friendship celebrates Miami's close ties with Latin America, while the Challenger Memorial honors the astronauts who lost their lives aboard the Space Shuttle Challenger in 1986. Nearby promenades offer breathtaking views across Biscayne Bay, where cruise ships, sailboats, and luxury yachts create an ever-changing backdrop unique to Miami. Bayfront Park is designed to be enjoyed by everyone. Families relax beneath swaying palms while children play in splash areas and playgrounds. Joggers and walkers follow scenic waterfront paths, office workers enjoy lunch outdoors, and visitors simply pause to watch ships glide through the harbor. The adjacent Bayside Marketplace adds restaurants, shopping, and live entertainment just steps from the park, creating one of Miami's busiest gathering places. Throughout the year, Bayfront Park hosts many of Miami's biggest celebrations: international music festivals, cultural events, 4th of July fireworks, holiday festivities, fitness programs, and New Year's Eve celebrations attract enormous crowds. With Biscayne Bay as the backdrop, few places capture Miami's energy, diversity, and excitement quite like this remarkable waterfront park. Not every visit to Bayfront Park is filled with excitement. Many people come to simply to sit beneath the palms, watch pelicans dive into the bay, admire the skyline, or enjoy the cooling breeze coming off the water. It's a place where residents and tourists alike can pause for a while and appreciate one of America's most spectacular urban waterfronts. As downtown Miami has grown into one of the world's great international cities, Bayfront Park has remained its front yard. Surrounded by skyscrapers, museums, hotels, restaurants, and Bayside Marketplace, the park continues to anchor the city's waterfront while ongoing improvements preserve its beauty for future generations. As evening falls and the lights begin reflecting across Biscayne Bay, Bayfront Park reminds us that great parks aren't measured only by their size. They're measured by the memories they create and the way they define a city. For more than 100 years, Bayfront Park has welcomed the world to Miami, offering a place where tropical beauty, international culture, and urban life come together in unforgettable fashion. How can a single city square tell the story of more than 200 years of American history? Well, in downtown Mobile, Alabama, Bienville Square has quietly witnessed nearly everything, from the city's earliest days under French rule to wars, celebrations, parades, political speeches, and everyday life. Though modest in size, this beautiful square has earned a place among the South's most historic public spaces and remains the heart of Mobile's downtown. After the French moved Mobile to its present location in 1711, this block became part of the growing colonial town. During the Spanish period, the site was occupied by the old Spanish hospital. In 1824, Congress transferred the property to the city of Mobile with one important condition. It would remain a public square forever. That decision preserved this special place for future generations and laid the foundation for what would become one of the South's most historic urban parks. Officially established as a public square in 1824, Bienville Square quickly became the social center of Mobile. Named in honor of Jean-Baptiste Lemoyne de Bienville, the founder of both Mobile and New Orleans, the square offered shaded walkways, flowering gardens, and open spaces where residents escaped the Gulf Coast heat. Throughout the 19th century, it became a favorite destination for concerts, festivals, military ceremonies, and public gatherings. Over the years, Bienville Square has become home to elegant gardens, monuments, and one of its best-known landmarks, the beautiful cast-iron Ketchum Fountain, installed in 1890 to honor Dr. George A. Ketchum, whose work helped bring a modern water system to Mobile. Bands regularly performed concerts beneath the trees while families gathered on warm evenings to enjoy music and conversation. Like many great squares, it became an outdoor living room where neighbors met, visitors relaxed, and important moments in Mobile's history unfolded. Today, large, towering live oaks provide welcome shade, while colorful flower beds and carefully maintained landscaping create one of downtown Mobile's most inviting spaces. The historic fountain remains a favorite gathering place, surrounded by benches where office workers, visitors, and longtime residents pause to enjoy a slower pace of life. Despite the city's continued growth, Bienville Square still feels remarkably intimate and welcoming. Bienville Square occupies one of the most historic neighborhoods on the Gulf Coast. Just steps away are beautifully preserved buildings, museums, churches, restaurants, and the Cathedral Basilica of the Immaculate Conception. Today, they create a walkable historic district where visitors can easily explore more than 3 centuries of Mobile's rich cultural heritage. Throughout the year, Bienville Square continues to serve as Mobile's gathering place. Concerts, food festivals, holiday celebrations, farmers markets, and community events regularly fill the park with activity. During Mardi Gras season, the square comes alive with parades, music, and celebrations, reminding visitors that Mobile proudly claims the oldest organized Mardi Gras celebration in the United States. Not every memorable moment here involves a festival. Many people simply come to enjoy lunch beneath the ancient oaks, read a book on a shaded bench, or watch the rhythm of downtown Mobile unfold around them. In a fast-moving world, Bienville Square offers something increasingly rare, a peaceful place where history, nature, and everyday life blend together. Although nearly 2 centuries have passed since Bienville Square officially became a public park, it continues to thrive. Beginning in the 1980s, downtown Mobile experienced a remarkable revitalization, bringing renewed investment, restored historic buildings, and a new energy to the neighborhoods surrounding the square. Along with careful landscaping and ongoing improvements, these efforts have ensured that Bienville Square remains the welcoming centerpiece of downtown Mobile for generations to come. As evening settles beneath the canopy of ancient live oaks, Bienville Square reminds us that greatness isn't always measured by size. Some parks earn their place in history by quietly serving generation after generation. For more than 200 years, this remarkable square has welcomed visitors and residents alike, preserving the spirit of Mobile while continuing to write new chapters in one of the South's oldest and most fascinating stories. All right. Well, as we've seen today, and I just want to apologize, we're having a technical problem at the beginning. I think it was the StreamYard that was messing up somehow. We had to restart it a few times. But, these things happen with technology. So, as we've seen today, great parks are much more than patches of green surrounded by buildings. They are the living rooms of our cities and places where history is preserved and communities gather and memories are made. From the sweeping skyline of Piedmont Park in Atlanta to the timeless elegance of Forsyth Park in Savannah, from the remarkable rebirth of Railroad Park in Birmingham to the Olympic legacy of Centennial Olympic Park, from the peaceful waters of Lake Eola in Orlando and the tropical beauty of Bayfront Park in Miami, to the centuries-old charm of Bienville Square in Mobile, each of these parks reflects the unique character of its city. They remind us that thoughtful planning, civic pride, and a commitment to public spaces can enrich our lives for generations. So whether you're taking a morning walk, enjoying a concert, attending a festival, or simply relaxing beneath the shade tree, these parks belong to all of us. And I hope today's program has inspired you to visit one of these remarkable places and also visit the parks that's in your own town and city. Or perhaps rediscover a favorite park, that's in your area and in your state, maybe. You may be surprised by the history, beauty, and sense of community waiting just around the next bend in the path. So thank you all for joining us today for another edition of Legacy Parks of America. Next week, our plan is to have 7 more parks, and this is going to be parks by the Olmsteads, by Frederick Law Olmsted and his sons. Again, my name is Richard Bienvenu. Until next time, remember that our greatest parks aren't just places to visit, they're places that help define who we are, and we'll see you on our next adventure.
Not every mission happens behind a desk. Some happen in the places where our freedom is defended. This is the front line, where service meets reality. Readiness requires resilience, and impact is measured in people, not headlines. We talk with the men and women who support our military communities, the leaders, responders, and recreation professionals who create spaces where service members and their families can recharge, connect, and stay strong. From fitness and recreation to community programs that strengthen the total force at home and abroad, we share the stories, the challenges, and the purpose that keeps them going. Welcome to On the Front Line, the Military Rec Show, hosted by John Prue. Real people, real stories, real service. This is where it begins.
In the parks and recreation industry, attention is limited, but influence is everything. Every day, thousands of parks and recreation professionals make critical decisions. Decisions on infrastructure, programs, technology, and vendors. The question is your brand part of that conversation? DPRS Media Network was built to answer that question. We are a dedicated media ecosystem focused exclusively on the parks and recreation industry in the United States. Through a network of daily and weekly shows, we inform, connect, and influence this audience. Our distribution spans multiple platforms: LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, plus email campaigns, newsletters, podcasts, and live event coverage. This is not a single-channel strategy. It is a multi-platform media engine. Today, our network reaches over 214,000 connections, including 51,000 on LinkedIn, 64,000 on Facebook, nearly 40,000 email subscribers, and thousands more across podcast and social platforms. While some audiences overlap, our true value is not just reach, it is relevance. We speak directly to parks and recreation directors, program managers, and industry leaders, an audience that is highly targeted and actively engaged. Through DPRS Media Network, your brand integrates seamlessly into this ecosystem. Through sponsored show segments, targeted advertisement placements, podcast features, and host-read promotions, even custom branded content. Not as interruptions, but as part of the conversation. And we don't just operate online. We attend over 15 major parks and recreation conventions each year, reaching more than 24,000 professionals in person. Through live shows, interviews, and on-site media coverage, we position our partners at the center of the industry. Every piece of content we produce is amplified across our entire network. Multiple shows, multiple hosts, multiple platforms. Your message doesn't appear once, it multiplies. This is more than advertising. It is strategic positioning within a trusted media network built specifically for the parks and recreation industry. If your goal is to reach decision makers, build credibility, and stay top of mind, then it's time to partner with DPRS Media Network. Apply for partnership or sponsorship today. Let's position your brand where the industry is already paying attention.